Chosen one, receive this message with an open heart. The most difficult chapter of your life has finally come to a close. I am telling you this because you endured something that was meant to break your spirit, yet you are still standing. If you turn away from these words too quickly, you might miss the blessing that has already begun unfolding around you. The season that exhausted you, stretched your limits, and made you wonder whether I was still near has reached its end. This is not a small adjustment in your life. It is a turning point written by my own hand. The pain you carried had purpose. The tears you shed were seen and counted. Every quiet battle you fought when no one else understood was witnessed by me night after night. Remain with this message until the end, because what is being revealed will unlock the strength, clarity, and restoration you have been praying for in silence. When I say the hardest part of your life is over, I mean the chapter filled with constant pressure, confusion, and resistance has completed its assignment. The season where you felt like you were fighting alone has served its purpose and will not return in the same way again. I allowed that storm not as punishment, but as preparation. Through it, endurance was formed in your spirit and wisdom was planted deep within your heart. What looked like delay was actually shaping you into someone strong enough to carry greater favor without being crushed by it. You believed the struggle might last forever because it stretched longer than you expected. There were moments you questioned your calling, your value, and even my silence. But I was never silent. I was working beneath the surface, arranging outcomes you could not yet see. What felt like breaking was actually building. Before we go further, take a moment and acknowledge this word in your heart. When faith meets action, doors begin to open that fear once kept closed. This is not a moment to step back. This is your moment to move forward. It is important that you listen carefully to everything being revealed, because this message is not only about the ending of hardship, it is also about what is replacing it. Relief is arriving, but it is arriving alongside responsibility. Peace is coming, but it is also bringing purpose. I would never guide you through fire, only to leave you standing in ashes. The difficult season you endured included betrayals that cut deeper than you admitted to anyone. It included financial pressure that kept you awake late at night wondering how you would make it through another month. It included emotional exhaustion from carrying burdens for others while trying to appear strong. Yet through all of that, you endured. Endurance is the mark of someone who has been chosen. You were not chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen because when quitting seemed easier, you refused to give up. You continued to pray even when it felt like no answer was coming. You continued to show kindness even when you were treated unfairly. That persistence did not go unnoticed. I strengthened you in ways you did not even realize while it was happening. There were moments when it felt like everything in your life was falling apart. Relationships shifted without warning. Opportunities disappeared. Plans you trusted collapsed unexpectedly. But what was leaving your life was never meant to remain in your future. I was removing what could not travel with you to where you were going next. The most difficult season also revealed something important to you. It showed you who truly stands beside you and who was only present for appearances. It taught you the difference between loud support and genuine loyalty. Not everyone who applauds you is committed to you, and that lesson protected you from deeper pain that could have come later. Now that this chapter is closing, you will begin noticing quiet shifts around you. Doors that once refused to move will start opening with surprising ease. Conversations that once felt tense will begin to soften. Ideas that once seemed impossible will suddenly feel within reach. Do not rush this transition. Healing continues even after the battle ends. I am restoring your confidence, renewing the way you think, and strengthening your faith so that you can walk forward without fearing that the past will repeat itself. The weight you have been carrying is being lifted little by little. You may not feel it all in a single moment, but soon you will wake up and realize that breathing feels easier. That constant tightness you carried will begin to loosen. The heaviness that once followed you everywhere will slowly fade. You wondered many times why the test lasted so long. I allowed it because resilience was being formed inside you, a resilience that small storms will never be able to shake. If it had ended too quickly, you would not have discovered the strength that now lives within you. You are not the same person who entered that season. You learned to pray sincerely instead of mechanically. You learned to depend on me rather than relying only on your own plans. You even learned how to forgive when the apologies you deserved never arrived. Those lessons are treasures no one can ever take from you. The enemy hoped that the weight of that season would make you bitter. The enemy expected your heart to grow cold and guarded after everything you endured. But that is not what happened. Instead, you became deeper, wiser, and more compassionate. That is why I say, congratulations, you passed a test that many people never complete. From this point forward, you will begin seeing the results of seeds you planted long ago. The kindness you offered in private will return to you as favor in public. Sacrifices you made quietly will be recognized openly. Even the tears you cried will become the water that nourishes the blessings now beginning to grow. Do not look back at that valley with regret. Look back with understanding. That low place strengthened your legs so you could climb the mountain ahead. That heartbreak prepared your heart to recognize healthier love when it appears. You are stepping into a season where my protection will become more visible in your life. I will guide your choices with clarity. I will position you around people who respect your journey and value your spirit. I will restore what was lost in ways that will surprise you. This does not mean growth stops here. You will still encounter challenges, but they will not carry the crushing weight you once endured. You have already crossed the most difficult part of this path. For a long time, you lived in a state of preparation for the next blow. Even when something good happened, part of you expected it to fall apart. That guarded posture helped you survive the storm, but it cannot guide you into the promise that is ahead. Now I am retraining your spirit to expect goodness without immediately fearing loss. You did not come through the most difficult part of your life unchanged. You came through refined. There is a steadiness inside you now that did not exist before. Your decisions carry more discernment, and your prayers carry deeper meaning. The nights you spent crying alone were never wasted. I was closer than you realized, holding your future steady while your present felt uncertain. Each time you whispered that you were tired, yet still willing to trust. Something shifted in the unseen. Your perseverance was recorded. What you thought was silence was actually preparation. I was aligning timing, people, and resources so that when your breakthrough arrived, it would be able to stand without collapsing under pressure. What I build in your life is meant to last. You are entering a season of restoration. Some of that restoration will appear in practical ways. Finances will begin to stabilize. Opportunities will start aligning with the gifts that truly belong to you. Ideas you once pushed aside will return with new clarity and the support you previously lacked. Other parts of restoration will be emotional. You will find yourself laughing more freely. Sleep will come more peacefully. Situations that once triggered strong reactions will no longer control your emotions the way they once did. Do not be surprised if certain connections fade away during this transition. When you step into a healthier season, not everyone recognizes the version of you that has grown. Some people only understood the version of you that was struggling. Those who only knew you during your struggle may not understand the strength you now carry. They may not know how to relate to your growth. Release them with grace. I will bring new relationships into your life. People who respect your maturity and celebrate the progress you have made instead of feeling threatened by it. You will not walk into this next chapter alone. The difficult season removed illusions from your life. It revealed who you truly are when applause disappears. It showed you the strength you possess even when no one is watching. That kind of strength cannot be manufactured. It is forged through experience. Now I am teaching you something new. Instead of merely enduring life, you are learning how to build it. Your thinking will begin to stretch beyond survival. You will start making decisions that honor your peace rather than trying to please everyone around you. This is not selfishness, it is wisdom. There were times you felt embarrassed by your setbacks. You compared your journey with others and believed you were falling behind, but you were never behind. You were being formed in a way that required patience. What appeared to be delay was actually alignment. If certain doors had opened earlier, you would have stepped into environments that were not ready for you. I protected you from spaces that would have drained your spirit. I kept you away from agreements that would have limited your future. The doors opening now will feel different. They will not require you to shrink yourself. They will not force you to compromise your values. Instead, they will allow you to grow while remaining grounded in truth. Your faith has grown stronger than it once was. It is no longer built only on hope. It is supported by experience. You have already seen me carry you through moments you once believed were impossible to survive. Because of that, a new level of clarity is beginning to rise in your mind. The confusion that once surrounded your decisions will begin to fade. You will start to recognize clearly what deserves your energy and what must be released. Instead of constant second-guessing, you will feel a quiet assurance guiding your steps. I am restoring your confidence in subtle ways. You may notice it when you speak and no longer feel the need to apologize for being present. You may notice it when you establish boundaries without feeling guilty. These are signs that healing has taken root within you. The difficult season also deepened your compassion. Because you have experienced pain, you will now recognize it in others more easily. Because you have been misunderstood, you will offer patience in moments where others might judge too quick. Kai, this compassion is part of your purpose. Never underestimate the value of your story. What almost broke you will become a source of strength for someone else. The wisdom you gain during your darkest hours will help guide others through their own difficult seasons. Your scars will not represent weakness. They will carry light. You are not meant to hide what you overcame. There will be moments when your testimony opens the door for someone else's hope. Your words will loosen chains in hearts that feel trapped. At the same time, I am protecting you from falling back into old patterns of overextending yourself. In the past, you often carried responsibilities that were never truly yours. You said yes out of obligation, even when your strength was already drained. That pattern is ending now. In this new season, you will learn to pause before making commitments. Instead of reacting to pressure, you will listen for my guidance. That pause will protect your energy and preserve your peace. Provision is also connected to this shift. What you need will begin arriving at the right time. It may not always appear early, but it will never arrive too late. Through this, you are learning to trust timing that has already proven itself faithful. When you look back at the hardest chapter of your life, there may still be moments of sadness. That is natural. Healing does not erase memories, it transforms them. Soon you will begin to see how even your most painful moments redirected you towards something better. The rejection that once crushed your spirit will be revealed as protection. The closed door that confused you will later be understood as guidance. I am still arranging blessings that you cannot yet see. Conversations are being prepared. Opportunities are forming quietly with your name attached to them. Stay steady during this transition. Do not sabotage your own PR. Ogress by doubting what is already unfolding. When peace begins to feel unfamiliar, resist the urge to create chaos just because chaos once felt normal. Stability belongs to you now. This is your declaration that you trust the completion of the season that nearly consumed you. You are stepping forward without dragging yesterday's fear into tomorrow's promise. The hardest part is finished. Growth will continue, but now it will grow from strength instead of survival. Expansion will come through wisdom rather than desperation. Lift your eyes and notice how the view around you is changing. The air feels lighter because the weight you carried for so long has finally shifted. I am proud of the way you endured. I am proud that you kept your heart open when it would have been easier to close it. I am proud that you chose faith instead of bitterness. This is how you recognize that the hardest part is truly behind you. You are no longer operating only in survival mode. You are thinking clearly, making wiser decisions, and responding thoughtfully rather than reacting out of fear. That transformation did not happen overnight, but it is real. I am restoring your sense of identity. During the storm, you began to see yourself through the lens of struggle. You felt like the person who always had to fight, always had to push forward, always had to hold everything together. But you are more than your battles. You are my chosen one, not because life has been easy for you, but because you remained anchored in me when everything around you felt unstable. That connection created depth within you, and that depth is now becoming confidence. There were moments when you felt invisible. You gave your best efforts and still felt overlooked. You tried your hardest and faced rejection anyway. What you interpreted as invisibility was actually protection. I was shielding you from paucity. Ons and recognition that would have exposed you before you were ready. Now you are stepping into alignment. Opportunities approaching you will match your growth. You will no longer need to prove your worth constantly. It will be recognized naturally. Your desires are shifting too. What once felt urgent will lose its grip. You will crave stability over drama, depth over superficiality, and peace over approval. This change is a sign of maturity. The hardest season required you to face long-buried fears and insecurities. You confronted doubts about yourself and even about me. Instead of collapsing under those realizations, you grew. Vulnerability became strength, asking for help became wisdom, and standing alone became proof of your resilience. You are learning that effort and faith can work together. You will act, but not out of anxiety. You will plan, but not from panic. The ground beneath you will feel firm again. The uncertainty that once dominated your thoughts will lose its hold. Dreams and projects you set aside will return, approached now with discernment and patience. Your relationships will reflect this internal growth. You will gravitate toward honesty and depth, leaving manipulation and disrespect behind. You no longer assume everything will succeed or that everyone will remain, but you trust that I am constant. Gratitude will flow more easily because you now see value in what remains. Patience, perspective, and discernment are now firmly rooted in your spirit. The hardest part of your life is over, and what comes next will be growth, restoration, and expansion rooted in wisdom, strength, and faith. You are prepared to step fully into this new season, carrying your lessons, your resilience, and your purpose with clarity and confidence.